What if I told you there was a supplement that was super cheap, super easy to find, and has the most impact on your body, like improving mental clarity, improving sleep even, also improving performance in the gym, improving recovery, and even improving cognitive function? There's so many benefits to this one supplement that is so easily accessible. Well, what is it? It is creatine. Creatine is widely spoken of, and there's so many places to find creatine. Now, what is creatine? Well, it is a nitrogenous organic acid and is made up out of 3 amino acids: glycine, arginine, and methionine. These are only accessible in meat. It's the only place you can find creatine is in meat. Salmon, chicken, beef, lamb. It's the only place that you can find creatine. Now, today I'm going to talk about and break down the importance of creatine, all right? And I'm going to talk about the safety of creatine, if it creates hair loss, does it lead to kidney problems. I'm also going to talk about the dosing of creatine and how much you should take it a day in grams. And also I'll be talking about the places you can find creatine in natural foods. I'll be talking about the absorption and how to absorb creatine in the best way possible. First of all, let's talk about how creatine is beneficial for muscle performance and strength. So, creatine is stored in muscles as phosphate. So the thing that creatine does is increase strength, increase performance, and it's the best thing for recovery, even for cognitive function. It is actually studied that people that take high doses of creatine actually helps with dementia and Alzheimer's. Creatine is probably one of the most powerful supplements that you can take, and it's something that I've only been taking recently because I've been doing a lot of research. And for me, I've been a person that only consumes natural things, foods that only have one ingredient, foods that are purely natural, and I don't take no protein powders, no pre-workouts, no protein bars, none of that. But when I did my research on creatine and how much it is important, because most people nowadays are deficient in it and don't take enough of it, right? Because we as humans, back in the days, we used to eat mostly meat, right? We used to eat the whole animal. For us to get our daily intake for creatine, it needs to be 5 grams a day. Now, what is that equivalent to? That is equivalent to at least 1 kilogram or 2.2 pounds of red meat. Now let's carry on talking about the performance side of it. Creatine is stored in muscles as phosphate, which is fast energy for your muscles. So when you're taking creatine in a good dosage, that's when your body is able to increase in athleticism, explosiveness, strength, and recovery. It's the best thing for your muscle, so that you can perform at your most optimal level. It's important for especially elderly people to take, and it's good for people in general, no matter what age, to take creatine. Especially if you're an active person, taking creatine is probably one of the best things you can do. Also, studies have found that creatine actually increases bone density, which is insane, right? Not only that, it also betters your mood. It's overall just the most powerful supplement that you can take. It's fully natural and only comes from meat. There is nowhere else that you can find creatine. There's not a single plant in the world that contains creatine. Make sure that you take creatine. It's super important, and it can change your performance, your recovery. And ever since I've started taking creatine, I've been feeling amazing. And I take so much of it, and we're gonna get into right now the dosage of creatine. Now talking about the dosage of creatine. Creatine for different doses, there's different effects, right? There's never not enough of it because it's something that we're naturally meant to have, right? So this is literally just a fresh packet that I got today. And most commonly, the creatine that you do want to look for is creatine monohydrate. What are the benefits with each amount of grams that you take? Normally you should take about 5 grams of creatine, and that will just benefit performance, that will benefit recovery, and those are the kind of things that, in terms of performance-wise, muscle performance, strength, 5 grams is the perfect amount. And then it is said if you take 20 grams of creatine, it can improve cognitive function. So things like memory, thinking better, you have a better memory, and you actually start to have more track of the things that you are participating in, and you forget things less. And it is also said that it can lead to reversing things like dementia and Alzheimer's. But it is said that if you take 10 grams of creatine, it can increase bone density. So it repairs any blood cells, and it basically helps the density of your bones and you get stronger. That's the amazing thing about creatine, is that you can take as much as you need. Even if you feel like you've had a day where you're super stressed and you're low on energy, taking something like at least maybe 5 to 10 grams of creatine. 20 is over the top, 20 can be a lot, but if you take between 5 to 10 grams of creatine, that's like the perfect amount for optimal performance and for muscle recovery and so many things, right, that are important for humans, right? So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to have 10 grams. I'm going to show you what 10 grams of creatine looks like. I put it in my yogurt. Some people put it in smoothies, and some people even put it in water, which I don't know, it's not really for me. I do like things to taste good, because if I start doing something and it doesn't taste good, then I'll most likely not be consistent in it. But because I'm putting it in things that are actually healthy and that taste good to me, I'm able to stay consistent to taking creatine. Now, I take this brand specifically, Lineage Creatine Monohydrate, because it is the most natural. It doesn't have any heavy metals in it, because some companies don't have highly tested creatine that go through a process, obviously, with the machines, and that could contaminate it with heavy metals and some other stuff. But this one, I've read the descriptions, and it's been highly tested. Yeah, it literally says tested for purity on the bag, and it also helps for absorption, because this one has sea salt in it. Right, so sea salt actually helps the absorption of creatine into your muscles and your body. So this one is my favorite, Lineage. So I'm gonna show you what 10 grams looks like, right? So, boom, that's one. And the next one. That is 10 grams of creatine, right? And I literally just came back from having about 600 gram to 800 gram tomahawk steak. So after I have this, I've had more than enough creatine. Now, speaking of steak, so where can we naturally source creatine from? Well, that is from steaks. Steaks have the best amount of creatine in it compared to chicken and other meats like salmon as well. Don't have as much as red meat. So I tend to have red meat the most because it has the highest dosage of creatine, or the highest amount of creatine. So around 1 kilogram of a steak is about 5 grams of creatine, or the right amount of creatine that is optimal for the daily intake, right? So yeah, I've had a big steak and I'm about to have this nice yogurt with 10 grams of creatine in it. So yeah, those are the places where you can normally get creatine from, which is, you know, salmon, chicken, beef, lamb. But in my opinion, the best one, and from the most research done, beef has the best amount and it can source the most amount. And what I like to add to my yogurt, normally I add bananas, but these are not really ripe yet and I don't like unripe bananas. So I grab my raw honey, okay? Raw honey. Now, why do I pick raw honey? Because raw honey is unpasteurized and it doesn't go for a heated process where it basically completely eliminates all of the nutrients inside honey. And honey, believe it or not, is actually one of the best things that you can put in your body, right? And the reason is because it gets rid of all inflammation. It's technically a medicine. With all the medicines that you have, what do you have it with? Honey. Honey is repairing. It replenishes you. You know, it's the best carb, the best sugar that you can have, right? And yeah, you can't, if you have normal honey, then you're just basically, most normal honeys have been heated and go through a heated process. So basically gets rid of all of their nutrients. Once honey is heated, all of its importance and nutrition is gone. So look for raw honey. That's where you get the most nutrients from, right? So what kind of side effects does creatine give? Well, we'll talk about it. Let's sit down. All right, so the one thing that most people worry about when taking creatine is, does it make me lose hair? No. There is no direct evidence that creatine makes you lose hair follicles, right? You know, creatine has been the most researched supplement in the world, and it is super safe. You don't lose anything from taking creatine. Alongside another myth or conspiracy that people have come up with is, does it give kidney problems? Absolutely not. Creatine has 0 negative effects on your body. Creatine is a necessity to your body's health, for your nutrition, for your performance, and everything in the above. So there is nothing that you lose from getting creatine. I take creatine and huge amounts of it, and I have not lost any follicles of hair. I have a full head of hair. I'm healthy, and you won't lose it either. Okay? So that's what you need to know about creatine. It's going to help you in every single way possible. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to make you lose your hair. Creatine is going to increase your performance, increase your muscle, increase your strength, increase your explosiveness, increase your cognitive function, better your sleep, better your recovery. How can you say no to that many benefits? And not only that, it's cheap, it's easily accessible, and it only comes from one place, and that is from meat. So we need to supplement it because not everyone is going to have that much meat, 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram of meat a day. No one's, unless you're eating a carnivore diet, then maybe you're getting the right amounts. But if you're just eating a normal diet where you just focus mostly on nutrition or an animal based, you're not going to get this right amount of creatine that you need. So supplementing creatine is super important, especially putting it in things that actually taste good. If you like to put it in water, then that's up to you. But for me, I like taste. So I put some honey, some yogurt, even some kefir, which is some live cultured milk, right? Mix that in, and it's the perfect amount. I get the best sleep, I get the best recovery. So creatine is literally a no-brainer, guys. All the things that you hear about creatine, forget about it. I take creatine and I don't see any negative effects, so you won't either. Guys, I appreciate you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.